Do you struggle with inspiration for your home meals? Are you constantly missing ingredients or throwing away unused groceries? Enter Ready Set Cook, our team's solution to home grocery management. It's ideal for the busy college student, working parent, or anyone else that is just too busy to be spending so much time thinking about meal prep. Ready Set Cook provides a smart recipe recommender which suggests recipes you may like based on your preferences. Think you've got what it takes to be on Hell's Kitchen? You can also upload your own favorite recipes and share them for other users to see. Our app also offers a convenient grocery tracker which alerts you when items are about to spoil, allowing you to prioritize those items and reduce waste. Ultimately, this app aims to save users time and money, reduce food waste, and provide inspiration for home chefs by taking the guesswork out of cooking.
Hello, my name's Andy, and I'll be walking you through some of the initial steps it takes to log in and kind of interact with the recipe system that we have with our app. So immediately as you launch the app, you're brought into a sign-in page. If you don't already have an account, though, you can click the register button and you can register on this screen. But since I already have an account, I'll go back to the sign-in page and log in with a tester account that I've already created. Go with password, and once we log in, you see I've already have some recipes added into my recipe list. These are recipes I've created or added in the past. There's also a heart icon that you can press to add it to your favorites list if you really like the item. But for now, we're just going to create a new recipe. Let's call it chocolate strawberries. Strawberries, and then for the ingredients, we'll add strawberries, and let's say we want 5 strawberries for this serving. We'll add another ingredient called chocolate. And then we'll add 1 pound of chocolate for this. An ingredient, there we go. And then for the instructions, we'll add melt chocolate. We'll melt the chocolate here. And then we can also dip the strawberries into the chocolate. That'll be step number 2. And then the final step will be let the chocolate cool down. Yeah, there we go. There we go. And the additional info tab, we can add a picture of our recipe. And then we can also add calories, protein, or whatnot. So we'll add 100 calories for this recipe and we'll click done. And then we'll wait for the recipe here to generate up into our recipe list. So we can look around for the chocolate strawberries. There they are. We click on it and we'll see the ingredients, instructions, and nutritional facts that we have in our serving. If we don't like the recipe, though, we can edit it personally. And let's say we want 2 pounds of chocolate instead. So we'll change this to 2 pounds. And since we doubled the chocolate, we'll double the calories as well, with 200 calories. And we'll click update in the top right corner. And then once we update it, we can click back in and we see that there are now 2 pounds of chocolate and 200 calories. And since we've published this recipe, we can now rate the recipe ourselves. Let's give it a 5-star rating here. And then we'll click back to the recipe page. We'll move around and refresh the page. We'll scroll back down to the chocolate strawberries and we can see that it is now 5 out of 5 stars. So other users can see this recipe and also interact with it and give it their own ratings as well. So the final thing is we can actually also delete the chocolate strawberries from our recipe list if we don't want it anymore. So we hit delete, confirm, and there we go. It's not on our recipe list anymore. So that is our recipe system.
Hey, my name is Rakan. I'll be demonstrating the recommended feature of our app. So right now I'm on a newly made account with no storage history, so no recipes can be currently recommended. We'll change that by adding a couple items to our storage, maybe just something like butter. And now our recommended page should be populated with recipes that all feature butter as an ingredient. These recipes are stored and retrieved from Firestore, are a mix of both user-curated and stored recipes from an API called Spoonacular. We also use the same API in our search and filter system, which gives you the ability to browse and have more options. It's a drag down to refresh. You can change the amount of recipes displayed at one time. We also have a tag system to filter through some different eating styles, cuisines, and dietary restrictions. So we'll choose something like Whole30 and dairy-free. For any given recipe on the filters recommended page, you have the ability to add it to a recipe list, or your recipe list. And it should be right here. This gives you the ability to edit and rate it and use it basically as a custom created recipe.
Hi, I'm Jiyoung, and I'm here to guide you through all the functions in the storage page. And so for the home page, you can see all the ingredients that you have added into the storage, classified by the time period you have added it. And for each ingredient, it will be classified as the red sign, which means the ingredient has been spoiled. The yellow sign, which means the ingredients that will be spoiled in 5 days. And also the green sign, which means the ingredient will be spoiled in more than 5 days. And there are 2 ways of adding the ingredients. The first way is to select the common ingredients over here. For example, if you want to add an orange, you can just add the quantity, the unit, and also the shelf life of the ingredient. And another way is to add the ingredient manually. For example, if you want to add the shrimp, you can add the image over here and enter the ingredient name, for example, shrimp, and quantity, which can be 10 pieces of shrimp, and the shelf life can be 3 days. So there you go. You have added the orange and the shrimp into the storage. And if you want to add the orange, for example, if you want to change 2 pounds to 3 pounds, you can just add the quantity over here, and it will be updated. If you want to remove the eggs, you can just delete the egg like that. So here are all the functions for the storage page.
Our users can personalize their accounts using the profile page. You can change your username or profile picture by pressing the update button. You can add an image here and a new username. And once you refresh the page, everything would be updated. If the user wants to change their password, they can simply click on the password reset button, and the recovery email will be sent to their email addresses. The user can also update their dietary preferences. Let's say I'm a vegan, and I also have a peanut allergy. These tags will be used by the recommend page to filter out the recipes you don't want. You can also delete them by swiping. Hearing from our customers is really important, so we have the report error functionality. These messages will be stored in the database, and our team will look through them and give feedback. Our app used Firebase authentication for easier implementation of sign up, login, and password reset. We access the users object in Firebase authentication to retrieve and update user information, like email and username. To store the profile pictures uploaded by each user, we use Firebase storage, where we can access each pictures as URL and link it to the user object.
For the techniques that have been used in the storage function, we have used the dismissible Flutter widgets to perform the scrolling as well as performing the different functions in regards to each different widget. And for the database, we have been using the Cloud Firestore to store all the information of the ingredients of all the accounts. For example, if I use edit of the eggplant and change it to 10 pieces, then the quantity will be updated to 10. And if I use delete spinach, the information about the spinach will be deleted.
We learned a lot from this project. The major stuff we learned is Flutter, which is a UI framework toolkit from Google. And one of the other major things we learned is the implementation of the front-end, back-end, and the controller, which is also the biggest difficulty we met. COVID-19 makes us in different countries and different time zones, which is another major difficulty. Thanks to VS Code's live share, Git, Discord, and Zoom, which help us collaborate together in this pandemic time. Finally, let's clap for ourselves, and thanks to the whole CSE 110 team, Professor Gary, and all the TAs.
Be
safe,
safe.
good.
Code.